Hello my crafty peeps, it's Cheyenne from PIXIECrafter.com. Today we are going to be making these gorgeous birthday cards using the Happy Birthday Gorgeous stamp set. This is a very versatile set. I'm loving the font and I love all the different ways that you can put together these flowers to make just a lot of different cards and occasions, and it's really wonderful. What else are we going to need? We're going to need our Stampin' trimmer, of course. This is something I feel is totally worth the money. It's a great tool. For cardstock, we're going to use our very vanilla thick cardstock for our card base. It's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and just a little bit of whisper white so that we can do that little front sentiment bit. We're going to need our Big Shot, and I'm just using the standard platforms and cutting pads that came with it, and I've got the stitched shape circle. This is, I believe, this is the second biggest one. In colors, we have Pink Pirouette, Rose Red, Calypso Coral, So Saffron, Wild Wasabi, and Garden Green. I'm loving these combinations together. They're just gorgeous. And we're also going to need our dimensionals and some Wink of Stella. So let's get to the So I've already made one, and now let's do it again. So we're going to be using some of the two-step stamps and a couple of the leaves, and of course that gorgeous happy birthday sentiment with the to you. So let's take our Whisper White with our Calypso Coral. No, I'm choosing Rose Red this time. So Rose Red, I'm going to stamp on that Whisper White, making sure there's enough room so that I can die cut that stitched shape circle out of the cardstock and not have it go crazy. So then I'm going to take the 2U stamp set. I'm going to stamp off first, and then I'm going to stamp it right underneath it. This is the way that you can use the same ink to get a bit of a different look. And now it's time to pull out our Big Shot and go ahead and get that die cut out. So here's the sandwich. I've got the Big Shot platform, the thin die adapter, a cutting plate, and I'm going to put my cardstock, the die, and then the top cutting plate, and I'm going to run that through. And this is the stuff that comes with your Big Shot when you purchase it, so you don't need anything additional. And if you don't have the stitch shapes yet, I suggest you put those on your wish list if you have a Big Shot. They are just gorgeous. I reach for those more than my layering guys because I just love that extra detail. Now let's work on the card base. So I'm going to go ahead and get it folded so I've got kind of a better idea of where I need to be stamping. Now here's a little trick. I'm taking the die and I'm going to do a circle around it so I know where I need to stamp my flowers. And with the stitch shapes, it's already going to be inset a little bit because there's that room for that stitching around it, so it's great. So I've got the larger two-step flower and I've got the solid base for it. And I've got my Rose Red, I'm stamping off, and then I'm stamping it down just randomly. I'm just making it look very organic and bouquet-y. And then I'm going to take the outline of it and I'm going to use that Rose Red full strength. There is a way to line up these flowers so that you're getting a perfect a lineup of them, but I kind of like it when it's off a little bit. It's looking a little bit more watercolory and a little bit more casual, and I'm digging that right now. Now I've got the smaller one with Pink Pirouette, and this is the solid form, and I'm just using that at full strength because Pink Pirouette is such a light color to begin with, and I'm just randomly stamping it, just making it look very pretty and organic. And I'm loving the Calypso Coral full strength with the outline over that Pink Pirouette. That just looks so pretty. Now I've grabbed So Saffron, and I'm going to do some full strength and some I'm going to stamp off first with that small solid flower. And then I'm going to go over it with the outline with the Rose Red. This is just really fun. Like I said, there's just so many combinations that you can do. Go ahead, have fun, experiment, do what color scheme you like. Now I'm taking the Wild Wasabi and I'm just going to pop these around, and I'm doing some double stamping so I can get some of that depth and dimension. I love double stamping on anything with like background just because it adds just a little bit more. And then I pulled out the Garden Green And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm double stamping with this leaf. And then with that little solid leaf, you see I'm doing double stamping, but I'm doing it together. And I love this. I love how this turned out. I'm going to do this again on future cards because I kind of think that doing this kind of finished it off. It filled it in and brought the whole thing to life doing this. And I'm using both the garden green and the wild wasabi with that little solid leaf stamp. And then once you feel you have enough going on, I took some of my Wink of Stella and I just kind of popped it really quick in the center of each of the flowers. This is just a little soft, delicate detail. I'm not going crazy with this. I just wanted to add just a touch of shimmer to it. Be sure to clean off your brush, otherwise the next thing you're going to use the Wink of Stella on, it's going to get colored. All right, now let's get our sentiment and we're going to pop it up on some dimensionals and then we're going to just pop that onto the card. And there you have your birthday card. That was so simple, not a whole lot of layering to this. You could possibly do this all in a single layer if you wanted to. Just stamp the happy birthday to you in the center of our little circle and you'd be fine. But I love that extra little bit of dimension. Oh, I got a little boo-boo there. So that is just a nail file that you can get at like Sally's Beauty Supply. And I'm just using it to kind of file off that little bit. But it's a rough one. So I actually brought out my pointy tool. And I'm trying to go in and just kind of lessen it up a little. Don't fret if you get smudges and stuff on your card, like little boo-boos. There's ways that you can kind of go and lessen it. It's kind of like, you know, when you're working with wood and all the different layers of sanding, or even with, you know, filing your nails. You kind of have to, you know, take it one step at a time. Yep, that's my head. That is also my headband. It's usually the headband that I use when I'm driving with the windows down because it's really loose, but it still keeps my hair back so I don't get that, you know, line in my hair because nobody likes that. Here's the finished card. You can barely see that little boo-boo. You can go ahead and stamp on the inside if you want. And I just love this stamp set. I can see me reaching for it a lot whenever I need just a little something for a card or a project, or something to fill it in. These are some gorgeous, gorgeous flowers. And all right, so that is it for today's tutorial. Remember, you can find a full list of the products I used in the description bar below, along to links to things like my Facebook and my Instagram and my online store, where you can go and pick up this Happy Birthday Gorgeous stamp set. And if you have bonus day coupons, you can go ahead and start redeeming those now. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye! Want to see more? Here's a couple of videos that might interest you. And check out my website and blog for a full list of the products I used, as well as more project ideas and inspiration. You can also shop my online Stampin' Up! Store and my Etsy shop from PIXIECrafter.com. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos.